Hi, my name is SheTheKranti.
Hi, I'm Amisha.
Hi, I am Arya.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy.
Hi, I'm Diksha.
I always feel that, deep down, I was always a feminist before I even realized that I was a feminist. But whenever I heard comments that I was supposed to sit in a certain way, I was supposed to dress in a certain way, and I was supposed to learn how to cook because otherwise, how would I feed my family after I got married? I think all these comments always gave rise to the feminist inside me. And as they always say, that feminism is something we practice every day. I know that I have been practicing it and I'm learning and I'm growing. So
I cannot pinpoint an exact moment in my life where I decided to be a feminist because being a feminist to me was this gradual snowball of anger and frustration that came with the realization that all my life I had no agency. This constant feeling of being unsafe or vulnerable because I was a woman, or the restrictions that were so unnecessary that I had to put up with. So I was very lucky that I had a lot of feminist icons in my life, like my mom, my friends, who I could glorify and who gave me the courage to believe and hope in change, and that's why I'm a feminist.
I think my mother inspires the feminist in me, and it has, even before I started realizing it, I think I have always seen her speak up against and be very vocal about any misogyny that she encounters. And so I have always sort of grown up internalizing these feminist values long before I understood or knew what feminism was and what it stood for. I think I've always believed in these values.
I think I was a feminist since the day I was born. Because if you think about it, no one is born thinking that women deserve less rights. It's the patriarchy that teaches us that.
So, I don't exactly know when I decided to be a feminist, but I do know when I decided to unlearn my biases and check my privilege. When I decided to be vocal about this stuff, I started checking my own biases. Okay, मैले त्यतिखेर गरेको कुरा was एकदम problematic. When I apologized to a few people because I have been raised in this society and I have internalized so many of the problems here. So I think that's when the feminist in me woke up.
SheTheKranti is very close to my heart. The fact that SheTheKranti is led by a very small team of 5 college-going students, I think it already tells that how passionate each of us are to accomplish the goals of the campaign, the goals that we are aiming to achieve through the session. I know the journey is going to be amazing ahead. I'm really looking forward to it. And SheTheKranti, it's very close to my heart.
SheTheKranti is a feminist revolution. It's a Kranti. And this workshop is an attempt to teach the school-going children and young adults what we weren't taught growing up. It's about teaching young children to not be complicit, to ask questions, and to not take things as it's given to them. It's hoping that we could create some rebels.
SheTheKranti is a passion project. It, to me, signifies disruption of harmful beliefs and practices that have become so normalized that they hardly appear problematic. And it's also about empowering young adults to speak up and speak against things that create injustice and oppression.
SheTheKranti to me represents personal growth as well as societal growth. I have learned a lot after joining SheTheKranti, and I really hope to see our generation learning along with me.
I'm still unlearning my biases, checking on my privileges, you know. So SheTheKranti is a platform for me and also a lot of other people to unlearn their biases and check on their own privileges.
One gender norm that has affected me is how the society expected us to dress up in a certain way and how it expected us to sit in a certain way. I think that has always affected me.
One gender norm that has affected me is this ideal and image of a good girl. I was taught to not ask questions, to be agreeable, meek, to smile, to not argue back, and just be that kind of person in life. But that is not who I became and not who I want to be. I don't think that that's how you can grow as an individual or bring any sort of change.
One gender norm that affects me the most, I think, is how I'm supposed to dress up, what I'm supposed to wear, what I'm not supposed to wear, and how I'm perceived is contingent on what I wear because of my gender.
When I was a young teen, I didn't like dressing up in skirts or things termed as girly things. And growing up, I always saw girls dressed up pretty in dresses and dressed like dolls, and I felt a bit out of place for a while, but I always did what I wanted to. Heck, I even wore a Power Rangers dress on my brother's wedding.
One of the gender norms that has affected me, that women or a female should basically be shy, अनि त्यसपछि धेरै बोल्नु हुँदैन, अनि त्यसपछि धेरै कराउनु हुँदैन and stuff, हुन्छ नि, गाई बनेर बस्नु पर्छ वाला stuff. I think त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि I was problem छ भन्ने थाहा भएर पनि I was not vocal about the problem.
So one patriarchys lie that I believed when I was younger was that periods should not be openly talked about. And in fact, whenever we went to get sanitary pads, they should always be wrapped around in a newspaper or in a plastic or whatever, because it should not be shown, and that periods should not be talked about in open. And that was a lie I believed.
One patriarchy's lie that I believed was on the notion of the measurement of virginity. The notion that you're a virgin if your hymen is not broken and it bleeds when it's broken. And I think that that is a scam and an attempt to control women's sexuality. And not only has it restricted young girls from using various sort of menstrual products or just engage in athletics, but it definitely ends up being somewhat of a parameter of your worth that the society assigns to you as a woman.
A patriarchy's lie that I believed was that I was supposed to feel ashamed of my period, that it was something dirty and shameful, and it was something to be hidden and not talked about with anyone. In a sense that I was supposed to shun my own body and its processes. And I think it took me a really long time to unlearn this and instead be proud of it and own it and love myself, all of myself.
Patriarchy's lie that I believed was that females should always act shy, speak in a lower voice, and speak only when allowed. The lie was that our voices didn't matter and we shouldn't speak when our male superiors are having a conversation, but I learned that our voices do matter.
It's one of the that I believed that being a girl or not being a cishet man was problematic in some way, not like other girls, was cool, okay? That not like other girls, and this was I don't like the color pink, and this was I don't play with dolls. Wala stuffs are cool, and this was being a girl or liking the color pink is not cool. It's so girly wala stuff haru. And I think I really believed that to kura, and I was always kind of bashing women who loved the color pink, who dressed well, who took care of themselves.